up next we have Chenay Sloan. So Chenay is a Kansas native, mother of 4 and wife, and she is a professional fundraiser at Harry Hines Memorial Hospice, a real estate advocate as well over at Berkshire Hathaway, and also a small business owner. She is active in her community as well as her church, and her hobbies include reading, working out at Hot Works, and spending time with friends and family. So let's welcome you up here, Chenay. Let's go.
The power of laughter can provide healing when life gets hard. Laughter reduces stress, increases endorphins, and helps you connect with other people. Even anxiety and depression respond to a good joke. My kindred spirit and grandmother, Constance Mariah Coltra Bales, used laughter as a great coping mechanism to help her manage some of life's unpredictable moments. She was born during the Depression as an only child of a divorced mom and an alcoholic dad. She put herself through college, married a Purple Heart veteran, and rose above her station to build a big family full of faith, love, and laughter. Her work ethic and grit were one of a kind. While raising 5 kids, she worked full-time as a physical therapist. She helped her pharmacist husband with his drugstore and gift shop in Wellington, Kansas. A great entrepreneur, she opened several successful businesses and was civically active, serving on many boards. She was a woman of great faith and volunteered in many ways in her church. She was in dozens of plays in the community theater. She loved to fish, camp at Bluegrass, and was always playing music and singing songs. But above all, she was hilarious. She was never afraid to laugh at herself. Her stories were honest, self-deprecating, and showed a glass-half-full approach to some of life's messiness. And the sound of her laugh, well, it made you laugh too. The Wichita Big Read author shares stories to acknowledge and heal past trauma, and my grandmother used laughter as a means of coping with hers. Here are some of my favorite Grandma Connie stories. The time she kept smelling farts everywhere she went. She thought everybody was passing gas and was secretly judging those around her. About 2 weeks went by before she found a hard-boiled egg in her purse that she'd forgotten about. Thus, the gross farty smell was actually coming from her, and she was mortified. She loved to play the piano, violin, and most of all, she loved to sing. She once got an Elvis Presley costume as part of a play. Once at a family wedding, Elvis, a.k.a. Grandma Connie, made a special appearance to sing to the newlyweds. Love Me Tender comes off a little differently when it's your grandma dressed in a jumpsuit. As a child, she always wanted a dimple. When my youngest was born with 2 perfectly cute deep dimples, she was so proud. She'd tell us that she'd twist her face up to make it look like she had a dimple, but really it made it more like a snarl or that she was having a stroke. As an only child, her pride and joy was her big family. There are over 75 of us, and I'm going to point out the pink poodle because I'm a little off on my timing. There are 75 of us, and Christmas is always her favorite. As she got older, it got a little more confusing for her, but no one would ever say anything if there was a mix-up in the presents, even when she gave teenage 6-foot cousin Nate a pink poodle purse. She was unfortunately, self-admittedly, not a great cook. She tried so hard and would laugh at her cooking fails. One time, she put a pie in the oven and forgot all about it. The pie rotted and grew a head of mold that was so big that the next time she opened the oven, it looked like there was a head in the oven, and she screamed. One time, she cooked my grandpa's favorite, cherry pie. She was so proud and worked so hard on it. Unfortunately, she forgot to remove the cherry pits, and when my grandpa bit into the pie, chomped on a cherry pit, he broke his tooth in half. She called it the cherry pits story. Because she was a Depression-era baby, she never threw anything out, ever. That included expired, curdled 6-month-old milk that I accidentally drank one time, a free loaf of bread given to us at a restaurant in Florida, only to accompany her all the way back to Kansas, and a turkey leg from a state fair that took her about a week to eat. Lastly, one time she forgot about some eggs boiling on the stove. When she finally remembered, the pan was empty. Well, that's because the eggs had exploded and shot all the way up to the ceiling. Now, as a mother myself, I tried to emulate that same funny in life and share with others my blunders and shortcomings so we can connect and heal with laughter too. Her trailblazing work ethic is seen in each of her children and grandchildren. I myself am an entrepreneur, a real estate agent, and a professional fundraiser for Harry Hines, as well as a mom to 4 great kids, while staying active in my church and community. I miss her every day, and the funny stories she would tell. And it's not that things aren't hard or that our family hasn't had our share of tragedy, but we do our best to look at the bright side and find the funny, just like Grandma Connie would have wanted us to. The last story, which we'll refer to this picture here, is something she would call embarrassing, but also a cautionary tale, where life's mishaps can be painfully funny. She had stopped by a rest stop to use the facilities, and it was a rather unsanitary situation. She pulled out Purell, the hand sanitizer, to de-germ. For whatever reason, she thought it'd be smart to put a little in her nether regions. Unfortunately, she forgot that it had alcohol in it, and it burned like the dickens. So henceforth, she called that story Pure Hell. Thank you very much.